Here we go. Let's try this out. So it's easier to do a video update this week than it is to do a written out one, because I want you to, hear me talk about it, because I feel like if I write it out, it's going to make it too complicated. You're going to see a lot of changes coming the next week. On Monday morning is going to be a big morning. There is going to be a checklist for all of the UA assignments, and no one should be surprised by the duties that are assigned. E and C have very similar checklists. I'm going to attach images of these in the GroupMe after this, but ensure that we have an accurate call schedule. Clean the EKG machine and delete it off. That needs to happen twice a shift. I know that traditionally it's been a night shift thing, but it hasn't been getting done at all lately. So I want everyone to look at the instructions here and keep up on it. If it's done twice a shift, it shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes every time. If we keep making it just a night shift thing, then that builds up into an hour-long thing, attaching all the orders and all that. E&C, stocking carts, glucometer, expiration dates, that kind of thing. Nothing unreasonable, right? Same for B and D. Now, B and D, because you're on B and you can't get up and you can't really leave the desk, a lot of this is just making sure that it gets done. And that's coordinating with the charge, with the person that's on the D desk, if we have one, and with the medic, and anyone else to look at all the expiration dates. You'll see that Anna Baumkamp and the UPC has really done a really good job of putting on the outside of the drawers, the little cards that say the next thing that expires in it. This is how we're going to start keeping track of expired supplies. We're also going to have the same thing for patient rooms. And then that will be easy to maintain, where if we see an expiration date coming up within a month, that room needs to be gone through. And we'll talk more through that process as we go along. I don't know if you guys can hear Ellie yelling in the background. She can wait a minute. Same thing for triage, right? Coordinate between the greeter and the runner, clearing EKGs, making sure everything's clean. Now, nurses, there's also going to be an admission checklist, which, again, isn't anything unreasonable, but I want it done for every admission. And this is going to be our vitals charted per policy, right? At least every 4 hours, with a repeat set of vitals within an hour before they go up. That's not an unreasonable ask. Pain assessed at least once and reassessed if we gave them anything. Swallow study if they're a stroke patient, we've done anything PO. All titratable drips titrated per the order. You'll see the instructions on how to titrate them in the order. This is something that we got dinged in the Joint Commission survey with propofol. We're remedying that, but we need to make sure that we're doing it with any titratable drip. All stat medications given. That's not an unfair ask. That's always been an expectation. Does this patient need to go to CT or ultrasound prior to the floor? Does this patient have any timed labs that need to be drawn? Was this patient admitted for weakness? Actually, we'll delete all that because we're doing a different audit process for that. And those are all things that are expected and not unreasonable. And it's just yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then a place to take notes if you need to explain anything. That can happen while you're giving report, right? And all of that is super easy to accomplish if you start associating the patient with the monitor, and that's super easy. I'll make sure the standard work gets out. I also want to make you aware of some quality of life stuff. I have a fridge that got dropped off in Zone C starting on Monday. That is going to be stocked by the kitchen the same way that the kitchen in the main, or the refrigerator in the main, is stocked. There's also a tiny little mini fridge that will hold the bottles of water underneath the triage, Zone A Pyxis. So that way you don't have to run back to get water, which negates the whole point of getting the triage Pyxis in the first place. We have two new ortho carts coming, so they're going to replace the old ortho carts. We have 2 new IV carts. that are coming that are going to replace the IV carts in Zone A and Zone E. And then I also have a suture cart that's coming for the base. And we're looking at improving all the little quality of life stuff. So if you have any ideas, bring them to me. And keep working together, keep doing what we do, and keep keeping this community healthy as much as we can. I'm proud of what we do. We just need to document it better. Thanks for everything.